I don't think it's an unpopular opinion for me to say, Minecraft isn't the same anymore. I mean sure, the name's the same, the blocky looks the same, but the feel isn't. Now maybe it's just due to me getting older, but I truly believe it's more than that, and I think to understand why, we've got to take a look back at the game's origin. The year's 2009, and you're a Swedish game developer known as Marcus Persson, who's just begun playing a blocky sandbox title called Infiniminer. And although you find the game enjoyable, you believe you can create a better version of it. So, that's exactly what you do, and on May 17th, 2009, after only 3 days of development, you create and publish the first version of your new title, Cave Game. Wait, no, I mean Order of the Stone. Never mind, the name's not important. What is important though, is how people feel about the game. They love it. Now sure, there wasn't really much to do, with you only having a singular game mode, a tiny sandbox map, and an extremely limited amount of blocks. But the game had potential, and on the 18th of November 2011, after 2.5 years of constant refining, updates, and improvements, the game was finally ready to launch. And to say its launch was a major success would be an understatement, with it selling 4 million copies in the first year alone. Now as you may expect, Marcus, or Notch, and his new team Mojang celebrated the overwhelming success that Minecraft was. But not for long. See, Notch never set out to create a hit game. He just wanted to make small indie projects as it was his passion. So he wasn't too happy with being given the burden of managing a rapidly expanding game. So, on December 1st, 2011, not even a month after the game's release, Notch stepped down from his role as lead director and gave it to one of his employees and close friends, Jeb. But fortunately, not too much changed from Notch's original vision for the game, as it remained as a simplistic sandbox experience where you could explore, create, and craft to your heart's desire. And although Mojang, under Jeb's lead, released some major expansions, such as the Pretty Scary update, which introduced the Wither, beacons, and the ever so popular bats, the updates they created never truly took away or majorly impacted the game. They instead enhanced the player's experience, introducing new things to do and new areas to explore, or keeping the overall gameplay largely the same. But with Notch's departure from Minecraft development came an issue. See, not many people actually knew Notch was no longer in control, so every issue with the game, whether it be a bug, feature, or glitch, was blamed on him. And he really hated this. So to make a big statement that he no longer worked on Minecraft, he decided to sell the game and Mojang for $2.5 billion to Microsoft. And this is where Minecraft's issues really began to arise. Remember that thing I said about Mojang prioritising updates which enhanced the player's experience? Well, that soon changed when on the 29th of February 2016, they released their first update under Microsoft's ownership, the Combat Update. An update so hated and despised that a lot of players never even bothered to install it. But why was this update so despised? Well, for two reasons really. The Elytra, an item so overpowered, it made every other method of transportation, whether it be boats, minecarts, or horses, completely obsolete. And the actual theme of the update itself, the combat overhaul. Now sure, Minecraft's combat was never really that complex, but at the same time, it was never supposed to be. At most, it was just a test on how fast you could click, but Mojang devolved the combat into strategy-based attacks, where you would constantly have to switch weapons to optimize damage, time your attacks, and constantly seek critical hits. Now you may be thinking, surely after the backlash, Mojang would revert the changes, and to give them credit, they said they would, 7 years ago. See, that's a theme a lot of people have noticed with Mojang. They showcase or promise new and exciting features, but rarely actually deliver upon them. There's been multiple examples in recent years, whether it be entire biome revamps that never happened, like the Birch Forest update, RTX and ray tracing on consoles, or something as simple as fireflies being scrapped last minute. It makes it really hard to get excited or even care about the game's future expansions, because the track record they've presented shows that odds are the features you want to see will either never actually be implemented poorly, or implemented years after you've stopped giving a fuck about it. It's a far cry from what Minecraft started and grew from, a player-driven game where the community had a large say in what happened within it. And sure, the community technically still have a say in the game's upcoming features during Minecraft Live, But if you actually take a minute and listen to the way they talk about the different features you can choose from, it's pretty clear from the way that they're presented that they want you to pick the ones that they want you to, making the vote practically redundant. I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times by now, but what's even the point in the new updates? There's a million other things that the community would much rather see, like a revamp of one of the most boring and uninteresting areas of the game, the end dimension. Or how, to be honest, a revamp of any area of the map, but they just don't do it. They instead insist on introducing new areas and biomes, like the upcoming cherry blossoms. And sure, the cherry blossoms look good, but who actually asked for this? There are so many things that need to be changed, fixed, or added. So why in the name of God are they adding more before improving on what they already have? I'm not sure if it's just me, but the more they add, the emptier the world feels. How can a world with so much life feel so dead? And I think this is only made worse by how easy the game has become. Do you remember your first night in Minecraft, struggling to stay alive, possibly burrowing into a mountain or hiding underground just to avoid the onslaught of monsters above? Well, that feeling's long past. Now, by the end of my first day, I have full iron armour and enough resources to last me countless nights. Even on the game's hardest difficulty, everything has become so easy, and it's honestly so boring. Gone are the days where I would scramble to survive, or the days where I'd go out mining not knowing if I'd make it back. Instead, I can march around my world without a care in the world, all due to the overpowered and broken items I can get practically at the game's beginning, and I don't think an example of this could be any better than the Totem of Undying. An item, as the name suggests, that literally saves you if you somehow manage to lose all of your hearts. The game's balance between fun and challenging is practically non-existent, and sure, the combat update did nerf the player massively, but nowhere near the extent of making the game anything more than a breeze. And at this point, I don't really think Mojang can change anything without massively altering the game, and honestly, it's a shame. How the most challenging part about Minecraft now is inventory management. As anyone who's mined for more than 5 minutes will tell you, the amount of useless bullshit that you will inevitably pick up is a joke. It's sad to see how much the game has changed from what it once was, how it's evolved so far, but only in certain areas. With every step it takes forward recently, it seems to take about 6 back. And I'm not even sure if Mojang really cares. They seem to be more bothered about releasing new titles under the Minecraft IP, and I get it, working on the same game for over a decade can't be fun. But prioritising other games instead of the one people actually want to play is only going to lead to failure. So look, I'm sure Minecraft will have a future, but how bright that future will be isn't exactly clear. With the way the game's been treated in recent years, people are quickly losing interest at an increased rate. Hell, it says a lot when people are more excited about a hypothetical sex update than anything you've put out in recent years. I know hoping for the game I grew up playing to come back is stupid, and wishing for the feeling I used to get is a lost cause, but I'm praying Mojang can at least do something to make the game feel like Minecraft again, because right now, Minecraft isn't the same anymore.